There it is. Like up to there.
Hey, I want to welcome everybody to the matchup of the century. This is the Masters women from Canada and the Masters women from the USA. I'm joined here by Adam.
Hello.
And Keith.
And Keith. And we got William on camera controls. And we're really excited about this matchup. There was a hard-nosed battle this morning for the men's Masters Canada-US, and Canada came out on top, so we're looking for the women to do a little redemption.
That's right. It's always an exciting match when these two countries go head-to-head, so we're expecting a lot out of this game.
Yeah, we know them all too well, and we know how each other plays, and we know the people, we know the moves, and it's always a good game to watch.
Everybody knows everybody's techniques under the water. The only surprise it should be for us watching, not the people underneath the water.
Absolutely, and it's going to be a good one. We've got a lot of skilled players with a lot of history in hockey here, so we're going to be in for a good show.
I would say the people on Canada to watch would be number 2 and number 3, Kathy and Cheryl. They were playing Elite last Worlds, so they moved up to Masters this year, so they're probably bringing a little bit more of that hunger.
Yeah, we've got the same thing on the Masters women from the USA also. Some of the backs that have a lot of history include Carolyn Erdman, who is, man, she's been to quite a few Worlds at this point. We've also got some other ones, Jen Whitman, Rachel Carrington, who have played at tournaments before at this level and have excelled. So we're looking forward to a good tournament, good game here.
We got 5 seconds to the start. We got all our hands up.
And we're away.
Here we go.
All right, and we are underway.
Canada wins the strike.
By about a half a body length, which is good for them. We're sitting in the far channel. U.S. is starting to move it up. It's just kind of a big press of bodies. There's a little bit of a breakaway for Canada. Oh, they keep it in the middle.
Good bottom presence by both teams here at the start of the game. Of course, this is a 3-meter pool, so as the game goes on, and it's the end of a hard week.
Oh, and here's
that
our
looks
first
pretty good.
opportunity.
Towards the net. And
let's look at the
like
signal.
The puck is in. We're just waiting for the refs to confirm.
That looks good.
That is a goal for Canada.
Canada has to be really happy with that. That's a really quick goal for them.
Indeed.
1 minute into the game, controlling it in the middle and just moving it right up.
Yeah, they supported each other well and took it right down the gut to the goal. We don't call it the net in the U.S.
There is no netting.
Canada wins the strike again and takes it again towards the left.
Good counterattack by the USA here, and we got to break up the middle here. Last woman back for Canada doing a good job of shutting that down.
Stays down for a little bit longer just to shut that down. Just wait, she's going to need a little help really soon.
USA keeping really strong possession here with numbers on the bottom.
Great stop by Canada there.
Oh, she just didn't see her person.
I believe that was Julie Herman there on the break.
It looks like Kathy Armstrong.
There's the captain, Helene, passing it up to Trish Villar. Followed up by Rachel Carrington.
That was a nice pull off the wall. She's kind of got a lot of room there. Here comes Bonnie, just coming it outside.
Good help from a forward there. Can they link up? And no, the USA defender does a good job of thwarting that 2-on-1 attempt.
It's Jackie Chua. Let's see if they can pop it off. No, they're going to drive it back up the wall. It's Jackie pushing up the wall, waiting for a back to come in and support. And there's the foghorn.
Call goes against Canada.
Adam, for those not familiar with underwater hockey, why don't you explain how the fouls work? How far back and when can the disadvantaged players come in?
So when one team commits a foul, they're going to be required to start 3 meters back from the puck until the other team takes possession. At that point, they can charge in and attempt to win the puck back.
It appears that they've done that too.
Indeed. the team that has the advantage can pretty much go wherever they want in the pool. You typically will see them line up in formation together, but by the rules, there's no limits on where you can be.
And the foghorn.
So we have advantage Canada here. Canada's still trying to drive the channel here up against the U.S. Both teams seem equally comfortable to play the wall and the middle of the pool, so I think we're going to see a lot of varied play through this game.
Wow, way to power through. We've got a large Canada contingent above us, so a lot of that screaming is for the home team.
Good pressure here, and that
could be
looks
good.
to be in. Checking with the refs.
Refs say it's good.
That was a powerful drive right up the middle.
That was number 12. Almeida with the goal.
Five minutes in, Canada's ahead by 2, and looks like they're going to win this strike again.
USA has been having some good drives. They just need to look at stringing together a few more plays to get that puck
that back
closer
really
to the
wanted the
Canadian
puck.
net.
She's like, how about I just steal it from you?
The U.S. women are in a hole early, but they've still got plenty of time to dig their way back.
That was a good center attempt by Canada, intercepted by the U.S., and now the U.S. is driving up the middle of the pool.
And they have lots of space here.
There's
this
the
looks
drive.
like a breakaway.
Oh, and a good stop by the Canadian defender.
The U.S. has good support here, continuing the drive.
They got bodies down, bodies down. Let's cut to the surface.
And that looks to be a goal
that
for the
looks
U.S.
Good.
We do have a goal.
U.S. are back within 1.
Very
Jen
exciting
Whitman
game
with
thus
the goal.
far.
Number 5, Jen Whitman.
I don't know, I couldn't speak for everyone in the booth, but if we can have a higher scoring game, that would be quite fantastic for me.
Everybody loves offense. Jen Whitman's been playing over a decade, maybe nearly 2 decades now. She played at the University of Illinois. It's a storied program.
Oh. U.S. wins their first strike.
The
Canada was pretty quick to come pick up on that.
Canadians seem to be controlling the direction of play despite losing the strike on that one. U.S. is regrouped well here over by the wall.
Oh, and we have some room.
Yeah, Canadian interception, and looks like the Canadians are going on a drive.
A little layoff pass. Another layoff. Oh.
Centering pass, but the bodies weren't there.
No. The U.S. gets a chance here to clear.
And Canada picks it up again.
U.S. defender was ready for that one, turns the puck back towards the wall. But Canada is still on the pressure.
And the horn.
Looks like we get advantage USA on this play for a free arm foul.
Yeah, you are not allowed to use your non-playing hand to advance a player or the puck.
That's correct.
Only for swimming. All right, we have a timeout called by the U.S. Their coach, Darryl, is actually Canadian-born, correct?
That is correct. He has spent a good amount of time working with teams on both sides of the border, and in this tournament he is coaching the U.S. Masters women.
As a reminder, there is 1 timeout per team per half. What do you think they're discussing down there, Adam?
I think they're probably trying to find some ways to continue their drives and stop these Canadian interceptions that seem to be pushing the momentum back against them. The U.S. are making good drives. They just need to sustain that pressure further into the Canadian end. Good pressure by the Canadians off the U.S. advantage here, but it looks like the U.S. maintains possession. And the Canadians have a chance to clear it out in the middle of the pool, but it appears there was a foul on the play.
Let's see what the call is. It's against the Canadians.
And it looks to be a stick infringement. So not only do you have to use your stick to play the puck, you can't use your stick to attack anything else as well. So no hooking, no pulling.
No chopping.
Nope.
No slashing. No cutting. No hacking.
Certainly no hacking. All being said, this has been a really tight game for both teams. It's just kind of been punctuated by some strong breaks by either side when there's a breakdown in the opponent's defense.
Here's we have a gloving call against the U.S.
So a chance for the Canadians here to set up another drive, slightly into the U.S. half.
Most of this game has been contained within the center of the pool in the scoring halves. There hasn't been a lot of corner play thus far.
No, it's been good open channel hockey. Lots of pressure by the Canadians here, but it looks like the U.S. have successfully cleared to their side wall.
And the horn.
Looks to be gloving, and it is against Canada, so the U.S. will get an advantage here, a chance to push out of their end.
The U.S. is using this opportunity to send in some fresh subs.
Smart play. Good bodies that have been in a while, especially on the side opposite the sub box. It's a good chance to get that fresh body, and that can make the difference on a drive.
U.S. pushing really well here. Hangs out in the side. Chain the puck, a nice little layoff pass. And then the U.S. makes up.
Let's find out what the call is.
Call against Canada. Ref singled out an individual, but decided that it didn't warrant being thrown into the sin bin at this time. It is the ref's discretion on a foul, whether or not it was deemed intentional, and that may be the difference between an advantage and the player being sent out for 1, 2, or in a severe case, up to 5 minutes. Been a clean game so far, though. No penalties awarded to either side.
No warnings issued either. It has been pretty clean.
Good friendly game between neighbors.
This depth actually benefits the refs in their ability to see with the stretching of the bodies and the bubbles being absent, so they're able to get a good visual on most of the action.
So a contested puck here in the middle of the pool. Looks like both teams are driving pretty hard. It's possession going back and forth frequently, and we have a foul on the play.
Guessing it's a stick foul? No, it's a gloving.
It looks like Canadians are going to get another advantage here.
Rachel Carrington with the eye roll.
See, the refs have good visibility. Some of the players may not think that's a good thing. And looks like we have another timeout.
And this is on white now, so Canada's taking their time.
Getting ready for their advantage, get some rest, make sure they can attack this puck with a fresh set of lungs.
What do you know about the Canadian coaches on this team? Besides Daryl.
Well, Jeff is actually the partner of Cheryl, one of the other players on the team. Plays out of Southern Ontario. Been a long history of elite and Masters play for Jeff as well. Been playing for many years. And the other coach, Simon, has been playing in Quebec for, I don't even know. He's got a lot of hockey experience here behind these ladies.
Very good, very good. A few more seconds.
And the Canes are looking just a straightforward drive right through the U.S. formation.
And the horn.
And that is an obstruction call.
Yeah, against the U.S.
Yep.
3 minutes left in the half, and this game has really settled down. Both teams have played a lot tighter, a lot more defensive hockey.
And the U.S. clears it to the wall, try to control it in their half. Canadians are putting some great pressure on them, driving it back towards the American corner.
Canada goes right into the corner. Pass out.
U.S. is ready for that clearing attempt, trying to keep the Canadians into that corner.
Oh, there looks, that might be, that got sealed.
I believe we have a goal.
That looks to be, that's good.
And you can hear behind me the Canadian contingent.
You can definitely hear that the hometown crowd is in force.
They have come out for the playoffs. This is the third Canadian game today, I believe. Fourth.
It's the fourth.
Yeah, all 4 teams have had their first playoff matches.
And 2 of the teams have gone ahead, the Masters men and the Elite women.
The home team advantage is real.
That's the second goal for Almeida, and if I'm not mistaken, she just had a baby 11 weeks ago. The baby is cheering for her mom, just she doesn't know exactly what sport yet.
Gotta start them young.
Canadians have nice formation, nice triangle right there on the wall to prevent any chip backs from getting past them.
Yep. Yeah, especially with this depth, having bodies down on the bottom is such a key, because if you're sitting on the surface looking at the play and trying to react to a situation as it happens, there's a couple seconds before you can get to the bottom. So a lot of the time you will see the team that has more bodies down in preparation generally control the direction of the game.
Absolutely. Anticipation is important at this depth.
Absolutely.
Rachel Carrington in the corner defending. Jen Whitman trying to advance.
Good break number 45 here for Canada. The striking distance of the net. But it looks like America's
really
putting
good
up
job
a
of
stalwart
holding
defense.
that on the wall.
And Trish is pushing away.
Another chance.
Canada looking to center the puck. And the horn.
This one goes against Canada.
There's to be an
Minute 16 left in the half. But, sorry, 34 seconds left in the half. So we are almost done. Canada's just going to want to hold this on the wall, keep the U.S. from doing anything. And the U.S. is going to see if they can try to get one last good push in.
We have Don Fryers in the chat cheering on Almeida from Calgary. Saying, that's where she hails from, so she's got some hometown support behind her tonight.
And a
10
gloving
seconds
call.
left, and that'll probably be half.
That's going to be halftime. Well, it's a pretty good first half. Like you had said, a lot of play in the channel in the center, some drives down the middle, not a lot of initiations from the corner. So it's been pretty action-packed thus far.
Definitely, and pretty clean from both teams as well. There's been the odd call here or there, but it's been good, clean, high-tempo hockey.
Yeah, the second half is really going to test both teams with regard to fitness at this depth. It really can wear on you, especially when you're playing so many days in a row. That 3 meters.
You can see the Canadian contingent here, just everyone's all cheering.
And Greg Applin.
Yeah. He looks like he got lost somewhere. I think he took a wrong turn at Albuquerque.
I want to remind you guys that the GoFundMe QR code that you see on the screen is to help support the free streaming efforts of these games that everyone's able to enjoy. Past tournaments, you've had to pay for the video. This one, it is completely free on YouTube, and this goes to help support that cost. This is one of the better video efforts I've seen for a lot of these tournaments.
I think the most excited person is my mom, because now she can hear me broadcast.
All right.
No, and a lot of credit goes to Eric Straley. This is his camera system employed here. This is the first Worlds that this has been used at, so we're excited at what it can do. And if you'd like to help support us, every little bit helps to provide this kind of quality content for everyone around the world to enjoy these World Championships.
Yeah, it really keeps the action pretty live when you get to slide with it instead of just switching from camera to camera. And the video quality has only improved over the years. And the pool clarity, the water here is great. I mean, it's a very top-notch facility.
Indeed, this facility is not that old, just a few years, and it is world class.
You can really hear that the crowd is really excited. I'm really excited. Had 4 goals so far. Maybe another 4 in this half. I'd be happy with that.
I have no reason to suspect the first half will be any less exciting than the first one. We got a high-tempo match. Both teams are looking to capitalize on their chances.
I'm kind of hyped that Canada's ahead because my son only cheers for the winning team.
Yeah.
Being that he's from Canada, now he is cheering for the correct team. But only because they're already ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, my son will switch allegiance too during the middle of a game to the winning team.
He really likes the winners.
We are almost ready for second half action.
Here we go. Second half of this quarterfinal matchup.
The U.S. is time to swing it around. Oh, nice job to just cut that apart.
Good pressure by Canada to make sure the U.S. can't bring it all the way to the wall and bring it around the Canadian formation.
There was a wall grab there. We'll see if that's the call here. Yep, we have a wall grab on a U.S. player. That's going to be the Canadian puck. You may press up against the wall to actually get some leverage off of it, but you can't grab the top of it as you are playing.
Canadian taking the advantage here.
Pilar goes in to break it up.
USA gets a good clear back to the wall. Canadians trying to decide who should clear it. Comes back out into the middle, and the Canadians are trying to drive that 45 angle towards the center of the net. The U.S. providing good resistance.
Yeah, Ruth Wiley out of Phoenix is pinning it up against the wall, waiting for support.
Yep.
And we have an illegal knockdown on the Americans.
That's something you will see players do from time to time. You'll see them pin the puck, wait for support. They kind of get the sense that the other team has a lot of momentum, is rolling against them. They're going to try to slow things down, wait for their team to come in and support them, regroup, and start another drive.
Especially in the defensive half, when you've been making a lot of drops, it helps buy some time to get your help on the way.
One extra breath for that defender can make all the difference. Canada maintaining good possession here. That was a Canadian flick knocked down by the Americans, trying to clear.
And the horn, let's check the call. Loving call. And there's a warning issued by the referee. That was actually right off the beginning, it seemed. I thought I noticed that too at the beginning of the advantage. They must have called the advantage.
Called that the advantage play.
Yeah.
You don't want to take away a play from a team that's been fouled if they're
puck moves to the middle of the net now. A flick into the scrum. Canada's done a fairly good job of just bullying the puck through. They've got a lot of big bodies. Oh, not quite. Back flick.
We have a call.
Buzzer gone.
Penalty shot.
The refs have calling a timeout. They're going to confer.
So the one on the left called the penalty shot, while the one in the middle wants to discuss it. So what's the difference between a penalty shot and a penalty goal, Adam?
Well, a penalty shot is any foul that happens within the round 3. There's a 3-meter half circle, imaginary half circle around the net, and if a foul happens against the defending team in that area, that could have potentially led to a goal, the ref will issue a penalty shot, which is a 2-on-1, 2 attackers versus 1 defender.
Oh, and this is a penalty goal.
Goal here. And
it looked like the puck went in at a certain point, so it might have been that one was calling a penalty shot and the other said it was actually already in.
Yeah.
So like more of allowing the advantage all the way to a goal.
The other call that can happen as well is a penalty goal, which is a almost certain goal that was turned back by a foul. If not for the foul, that puck almost definitely would have been going into the back of the net, and that must be what the refs have decided in this case.
U.S. women are now in a 3-goal deficit, so they're really going to have to kind of bring it together and find that strength to get back in this game.
Yeah. Good break by the Canadians, though, right off this face-off. They're feeling the momentum of this game right now.
Sometimes the easiest way to defend is just to push it all the way into the offensive end, and just you can't let your foot off the gas.
Nope.
Pass to Jen Whitman. She puck's a little bobbly. Trying to gain control, and she's driving up the right wall.
The good chance for the U.S. right here. This looks like almost a complete breakaway.
Looks like they've got that
2 on none, 3 on 1.
Good work by the U.S. staying down to support that drive.
And pinching that Canadian defender. Ooh, and it looks like we have a clear by the Canadians.
Yep.
That was some good defense.
We have a foul on the play. Going against Canada. I don't think they're terribly upset about that. I think they would like just to stop everything, move all their players back behind the puck, and just reset.
Sometimes a foul is a good way to catch back up.
Double-edged sword when you're this far in your own end, though.
It really is. It really is. A good flick and follow can lead to a goal. Bodies down early.
Speaking of which, there's the flick.
Oh, and we're coming to the surface. What's the call? We have a U.S. goal.
Good for them. Canada kind of got caught on the surface there as well. The U.S. got 2 or 3 kicks before anybody was down.
Yeah, I noticed that the U.S. had their bodies down a little bit sooner, and when you're on the defense, you've got to have those forwards ready to spring off the wall for that defense. Challenge that defender.
One more example of that 3-meter bottom making a difference.
Mm-hmm. That ought to give the U.S. women now the confidence they need to make these last 9 minutes a real good battle.
Still lots of time left on the clock. This is still anybody's game.
The goal was by number 7, Nicole.
The U.S. is coming out a lot harder now.
Ref saw something in that scrum off the face-off, and it is against the Canadians. That is an illegal stoppage of the puck.
Oftentimes that can be a fin or a hand or an arm.
Yep. Anything that's not your stick.
Your face is okay.
Wow.
that one goes the other way.
Not if you take a puck to the teeth.
This isn't football, Keith.
Slam into 2 Canadian defenders. Ooh, and a nice curl follow through. Jen Whitman flicks it up.
That's good.
Forwards.
Look at that.
Wow. What great support.
That's a 1-point game.
Oh, ref is calling it off. No goal.
No goal. And the Canadian contingent is cheering. And it appears we have a timeout. Canada has taken a timeout.
This is a smart time to take that timeout. Canada's been kind of caught on their feet after that last goal. They're back on their heels on that last goal. Coach is just going to want to talk and just get them all settled down.
Absolutely. The Americans have found some confidence now in punching that 1 goal in. Even punching in this goal and having it get taken away really gives them the confidence to let them know that they can get the job done.
Now's the time even to say that, that you guys played well in the first half. You guys can do that to finish it off. You just need to get your head back in the game.
Another 18 seconds and we're back into action.
And the white timeout has expired, so play is back on.
You notice the Americans dropped early, make sure they were on the bottom for the bell. Bull Van Nude fighting it up the wall.
That's one of those little things that you don't need any extra skill to do, just to get down just a little bit earlier.
Some great defense by Lane.
The U.S. doing a really good job just to control that puck right in Canada's end.
Back in the center.
That is exactly what the U.S. wants to be doing. Holding it in front of the net. 3 meters out.
Uh-oh. Let's see what we got here. We got a game, ladies and gentlemen. We got a game.
This time it's good. 4-3 for Canada. USA within 1.
7.5 minutes.
Goal by number 7, Nicole.
The U.S. is doing a real great job of turning up that pressure.
The challenge now to the Canadians is to answer back and meet this American momentum head on.
Yeah, the past couple minutes, the Americans have controlled the puck in the middle channel. It'd be important for the Canadians to gather some control, maybe get it to the wall side, and set up their play to get it down the pool.
Stays in the middle.
Good presence by the Canadians here to hold back against the U.S. assault, but it looks like the refs thought they didn't do it cleanly.
Stick foul. So the Canadians are going to be backed up 3 meters. U.S. women will have the puck.
Time here still on the Canadian side is until the last 2 minutes of play. The clock will continue to count down during stoppages. But once we hit those final 2 minutes, the clock will stop. So the team holding a small lead at that point in the game won't gain any advantage by unnecessary fouling. A few minutes yet before we're at that point.
Canada looks to bring it to that far wall. Maybe swing it back.
Good switch back by the Canadians to take advantage of that open water in the middle of the pool.
Oh, nice give and go. Wow, that was a great play. Did we get a stop?
And that Canadian breakaway looks like it was in. Just waiting for the
wow.
refs.
We have another goal.
They're very happy with that one.
That was an excellent, excellent give and go down there by the Canadians.
Number 2, Kathy Armstrong from Vancouver with the breakaway to give Canada back the insurance marker.
And the U.S. have used their second half timeout. Yeah, sometimes, especially in this depth, if you pitch off that puck, if you stay down a few extra seconds, you might get it right back. Whereas if you go to the surface, you're not going to be back down for another couple seconds, and you could be completely out of the play. And it certainly paid off there.
Absolutely. As much success as the U.S. have had in their last couple goals, putting the puck in with numbers, all it takes is one lapse, one little bit of mental distraction, and the other team can capitalize, especially at this level.
Still quite surprised on the relative cleanness of this game. Maybe it's because I've been watching too many men's games, and they're just dirty.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've noticed no such thing.
There's still a lot of time for the U.S. They've put in 3 goals in the space of probably 4 minutes.
They
so
did.
This is still anybody's game.
Canada coming out quick. A lot of speed on that Canadian team.
Both teams are fighting hard. They're not giving any quarter at this point.
Breakout for the Canadians here. U.S. defender is back to shepherd that away.
Oh, and that's cutting back in the middle of the pool is always a dangerous gamble.
Canadian forward gets the break there, driving it kind of towards the U.S. corner. Pushing back into the middle now. Canadians are down in numbers.
Looks like there's a lot of space there for that Canadian.
And we have a stoppage.
We do. 2 Canadian women pinched that
That was an
USA
excellent
defender.
pinch play by the Canadians.
Yeah, excellent. You can't turn left, you can't turn right. You just try to contain it until another defender gets there.
It's a tough situation to be in front of your own net. Good pressure by the Canadians. Number 11, Alexandra Toupin with that goal.
Canada wins that one fairly clean.
have to say, off every face-off here, it's been a tight battle between both teams for who gets possession, regardless of who wins it.
And it generally goes towards the wall, but they bring it right back out and play in the channel.
Yeah.
Swimming back towards their own goal to try to create some space. Jackie Chua looks to center it.
Canada was looking for that support on the outside, but the American player had the body position.
Throws it in for Rachel Carrington.
Cheryl C. right there, down to provide pressure to keep that puck on the wall. Looks to advance it up to their forward.
And they are going to get some.
There's just a big swim.
Big and marquee here on the huge swim. Bonnie Chan following her up from behind on support. May not need it.
She's got all the space in the world now.
Oh, we have a fresh sub come in. You're going to see a stop.
And we've got a call on the play.
And a stick foul, 1 minute.
Looks like Bonnie, Canadian number 10, is being sent out for 1 minute.
Must have been an egregious stick foul.
That's unfortunate. She would have been much better off rather than try to get that goal. Just keep possession, play it clean.
Now
sit in front of their net for 30 seconds even.
U.S. players have a 6-on-5 advantage now for 1 minute. They're going to need to capitalize on this in order to stay in this game.
And it's 1 minute during, well, some of it will be during stop time as well.
Yep. Even when the play is not going on, the penalty clock will still tick down unless there's a timeout or a ref's timeout. Canada's still trying to disrupt the U.S. here, stop them from getting any kind of momentum off this play, and it looks like they're doing a good job of stretching them out, not letting them get into formation.
Canada can win if they just keep them all tied up and don't let U.S. play their middle game.
This is where fatigue starts to set in.
Another call from the refs here. Looks like U.S. players being removed for 1 minute for obstruction. It looks to be number 2, Ruth Wiley.
Trish Villar is number 2. Trish Villar.
My mistake.
Who I believe plays with the Sturgeon
Bonnie's
Bay.
back in. We got a 6-on-5 the other way. Canada doing a fairly good job of pushing towards the U.S. net. Oh, and they get break free.
Bust through and a shot to the goal.
That looks like Kathy again.
I think that's another strong goal by Kathy Armstrong. Just punched through that American defensive line. And with 1 minute and 30 left, the Canadians are sitting on a pretty comfortable lead at this point. What are the, from the Americans' perspective, what do you do when you're in this kind of a situation? It's a rough go.
It's very difficult because you've worked so hard to get to this point, and you're in the playoff rounds in single elimination, and going down that many goals when it starts to seem insurmountable can be very emotional. I know that because I felt that a few hours ago when we lost to the men's Masters in Canada. Thank you for bringing that up, Adam.
The U.S. putting on a good push here. Finishing strong. Trying to keep that puck in the middle of the pool. Canadians doing what they can to disrupt it.
Canada keeping it in the middle right now.
The U.S. is relentless. Another drive there, disrupted, and has the support to continue it again.
The possessions are going back and forth. Neither team's really doing a great job of protecting the puck.
No, this game has had a lot of flow. It's been very fluid, and we have an American forward out ahead.
Right here.
Busted through. It looks like we might have a goal for the U.S. It was a heck of a game, valiant effort, but there's just not going to be enough time to close that gap.
They're just going to go back to their sub box and just call that.
Trish with the goal there, but punctuation point, exclamation point at the end there by the U.S., but the decision goes to Canada after a well and hard-fought game by both sides.
And the Canadian home contingent. We want to thank you guys for listening and watching. This is Danny.
I'm Adam.
And I'm Keith.
All right, stick around for some post-game interviews. Thank you.
Excellent. So you're on to the medal round, and potentially, how does that make you two feel?
Really happy.
Really happy?
Really happy.
Feel pretty
good. We've been building the whole tournament, and we're finally hitting our stride and feeling good.
You guys are certainly hitting your stride. So in the round robin, it was tied, and you guys won against the U.S. by 1 point. Is that correct?
No, we lost.
We lost
5-1.
6-1 in the first game against them.
That game.
It certainly
Yeah,
did
we
not
sat
look.
Bonnie. It didn't work out
Is
for
that
us.
why? Is that
We
why?
sat Bonnie.
It certainly did not look like that's what the score was like 2 games ago.
No.
This time round.
No. Well, we unleashed the fury.
Yeah, that's true. Were you guys concerned at all when they brought it? When it looked like they were almost going to bring it back? How did you feel then?
We felt like, no, we made a couple mistakes, but we knew we could fix it. We knew we'd come back. We were controlling almost the entire game, and we were in possession and driving our game.
That's fantastic. Do you have anything that you would like to say to your fantastic fans?
Thanks for cheering us on.
Yes, thank you for
hear
cheering
all of
us on.
I want you to know that we had to kick out John, who's Bonnie's husband, from the booth. And he was like, no, I don't think I should talk. It's like, that's probably a good, because Bonnie touches the puck a lot.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, it's the team that wants it the most.
Thanks, guys. You guys made it so much fun to commentate.
See you, Keith.
Good job, Bonnie.
I had to get the end of the day piece in there.
Yeah, at the end of the day.